Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's learning objective is in blue and we are learning to apply BEDMAS when simplifying algebraic expressions. And key phrase BEDMAS, it's normally relevant when we're trying to calculate certain numbers, but it also has a big important role when we're dealing with our algebra. So first step, let's quickly recap what exactly BEDMAS is. Hopefully this is all revision, but the B stands for brackets, E for exponents, and if you've forgotten what they are, that's something squared, something along those lines. D for division, M for multiplication, I'll just write multiply here, A for addition, and finally the S for subtraction. So this has a really big role when we simplify algebraic expressions. We're also going to look back at it later on when we start solving equations as well. But let's get into an example just to see how it's relevant. So let's say we've got 2x plus 4x times 3. When we're simplifying this, the same process applies. We've got our multiplications. We have to do the multiplication first, which becomes 12x. So we're going to have 2x plus 12x. That gets us to 14x. Just going to change pen color to illustrate something. So if you did this in the wrong order, you would have done the addition first, which is 6x. You would have then times that by 3 to get 18x. Now these answers are different. 14x being correct, and this 18x being incorrect. Carry on, let's have a look at another example of how BEDMAS applies with algebra. So let's say we've got 3x times 3 minus 8x divided by 2. Same process applies. The division happens first. So that there is going to be 4x. So we're going to have 3x times 3 minus 4x. We then do the multiplication, which is going to get us to 9x minus 4x. And then finally, that leaves us to 5x. Another thing we need to be aware of is brackets when we're looking at our algebra. So as an example, let's say we've got 2x minus 8x divided by 2 times 4x. So when we're doing that, you always have an invisible set of brackets on the top and the bottom. That means we've got to do the brackets first, which is going to get us to negative 6x divided by 8x. This here is really just division, so we're going to divide. We can cancel out the x's, and that becomes negative 3 over 4 as well. So hopefully this is beginning to make sense, and we're getting more and more confident with it. And the last question we're going to look at, so let's say we've got 7x squared times 4x, and we're going to subtract 7... No, let's do 70xy divided by 10y. So a similar process is going to happen. Let's start off with the division over here. And don't forget, that division looks annoying, so I'm just going to, on the side, change how it looks to make my life a bit easier. The y's cancel each other out. 70 divided by 10 is 7, so that's going to get me to 7x. So it's going to be 7x squared times 4x minus 7x. I'm then going to worry about the multiplication out front. So the numbers, 7 times 4, 28. X squared times x is x cubed, and that's going to be minus 7x. And we then have to do the subtraction, but we've got a big issue. X cubed and x, they are not like terms. Hopefully you remember what they are. They are not like terms, which means we can't merge them together. So that means that final step is actually our final answer as well. So hopefully this very quick video makes sense. We've recapped what BEDMAS is, and we've just run through a couple of scenarios that apply BEDMAS when we're simplifying our algebraic expressions. We haven't gone through every possible question because there's so many, but hopefully it gets you started on your simplifying BEDMAS questions. Thanks so much for listening again, guys. Hopefully you got a lot out of this. Now let's get into heaps and heaps of practice.